Okay, so let's get right into it. When I say millionaire, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I'm guessing it's some tech bro in a hoodie, right? You know, the one who's supposedly disrupting an entire industry from his garage. But what if I told you the real path to getting rich is, well, it's actually a lot more boring? And I'm not just being metaphorical here. Check out this quote. It really gets to the core of what we're talking about today. See, the biggest fortunes, they're not always made in the flashiest industries. Nope, they're often being built quietly in the most unglamorous, totally overlooked corners of the economy. So forget about chasing the next big trend. We're talking about something way better. Predictable, consistent cash flow. So really, it all comes down to this massive contrast. On one hand, you've got the whole high-stakes, super high-risk world of venture capital and these crazy moonshot ideas. And on the other hand, you've got someone who, well, just needs a vending machine. And it's that second path, the one nobody ever talks about, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. All right, so first up, let's talk about businesses where the machines do pretty much all the heavy lifting for you. This is where that whole dream of passive income stops being a buzzword and becomes a real, tangible, kind of mechanical reality. And our first example is vending machines. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Vending machines, seriously? Isn't that just for like pocket change? But trust me, hold that thought because the numbers here are going to blow your mind. $2.3 million. That's the annual revenue of one former accountant who started this whole thing with just a single $2,000 machine. Today, he has a network of over 800 of them. And the best part is, his overhead is crazy low. He just figured out a simple truth. If one machine makes you a little bit of money, well, hundreds of them can make you an absolute fortune. So why does this work so well? I mean, here's the magic behind it. First, the income is about as passive as you can possibly get. You just stock it up, and that machine works for you 24/7. It never calls in sick, never asks for a raise. The whole model is just so simple, and like that accountant showed us, it's pretty much infinitely scalable. Okay, let's keep this ball rolling. Our next machine-driven business. It's maybe even less glamorous, if you can believe it, but it's just as profitable. We're talking about the good old humble laundromat. Seriously, think about that laundromat down the street from you. How much money do you think it actually makes in a year? You're probably going to be surprised by this, but a single, well-run laundromat can pull in over $300,000 in pure profit for its owner every single year. And the reason it's so incredibly stable is because of what it is. People will always need clean clothes. It doesn't matter if the economy is great or terrible, it's an essential service, plain and simple. That makes it recession-proof, pandemic-proof, basically life-proof. It's a super resilient business that, once it's set up, needs very little day-to-day hands-on management. All right, let's shift gears a bit. The next category of businesses we're looking at have mastered the art of making money from literally nothing. They sell empty space. I mean, let's be real for a second. We all have too much stuff, right? And where does all that extra stuff end up? Exactly. It goes into a metal box that people happily pay for month after month after month. Self-storage isn't just a business, it's practically a monument to our consumer culture. And you know what? It's an absolute goldmine. Just look at these numbers. So on the left, that's your average profit margin for a typical business, maybe 10, 15% if they're lucky. Now look at the bar on the right. That's self-storage. They're just cruising along with an insane 40 to 50% profit margin. The overhead is super low, the demand is always there, and the best part, customers stick around and pay you for years. Okay, so if self-storage is about making money from a metal box, our next business is about making money from a simple patch of asphalt. This takes the whole profiting from empty space idea and boils it down to its absolute purest, simplest form. $75,000 a month. No, that is not a typo. We're talking about an owner who bought one single parking lot 2 decades ago, and that's what it brings in for him now, every single month. Think about it. His only product is letting people use a piece of empty space for a little while. It is the ultimate example of turning absolutely nothing into something incredibly, incredibly valuable. All right, for this final section, we're going to get our hands a little dirty. Metaphorically speaking, of course. These are the businesses that make their money by solving the messy, gross, but totally unavoidable problems of life. And trust me, this is where things get really interesting. Yep, we are absolutely going there.
You might remember the source material teased something you probably flushed this morning. Well, here it is: portable toilets. Think about it. Every single construction site, every music festival, every outdoor event, they all need them, and somebody, somewhere, is getting ridiculously rich by providing them.
I can practically hear you right now. You've got to be kidding me, right? But no, I am 100% serious. This might just be one of the single most profitable businesses you've never, ever actually considered starting. And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Dignity is overrated. Money isn't. While most people are turning their noses up at the idea, the folks who actually run these businesses are just laughing all the way to the bank. At the end of the day, you're just solving a very fundamental human need, exactly where and when it's needed most. And just look at these numbers because they do not lie. That chart shows that for every single dollar that comes in, a mind-blowing 60 cents is pure profit. That's a profit margin most tech startups can only dream about. The logistics are so simple. You deliver it, you service it, you pick it up. And just like doing laundry, it's a need that absolutely does not disappear when the economy gets tough. Okay, let's wrap up with what might be the absolute smartest, boring business of the bunch. And why is it the smartest? Because you don't have to own a single expensive thing to do it. You're not buying the real estate, you're just getting paid to manage it for other people. Let's just run some quick back-of-the-napkin math here. Say you manage 200 properties, and let's say the average rent is about $1,500 a month. Your cut, usually around 10%, works out to $30,000 a month. That's $360,000 a year. You are just the middleman solving all the headaches for the property owners and collecting a very, very nice fee for it. So, okay, we've looked at 6 different businesses, right? From vending machines all the way to property management. What's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing that connects all of these seemingly random, totally unglamorous businesses? Well, it all comes down to a really simple formula. Let's call it the boring is beautiful formula. First, these businesses are proven. People have been getting rich off them for decades. Second, they're predictable. The demand is always there because they serve consistent, non-negotiable human needs. And that, right there, is the key. They solve real, timeless problems that aren't going away. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. While everyone else out there is chasing the next shiny new thing, maybe the most revolutionary idea is to just embrace the boring. So what's it going to be for you? Are you on team laundromat or are you on team portable toilet? Because the real path to wealth, it might just be hiding right there in